And here we go. We have liftoff. Propulsion continues to be normal.
R68 chamber pressure looks good.
Doubling up. Roger, with planet.
Water towers fly! Yes!
Tango down to nominal.
Fighting down to ST off. Bring in ST off. It's orange!
45! Oh my god! Oh my god!
Decollage.
What is it?
Put that in the big bag,
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together, back to the moon and beyond.
If the methane would be igniting in the flare, correct?
Yikes. You read? Sure. We don't need any more of these.
Yikes! You bet, concur. Welcome to another NASA Spaceflight live stream. We are not NASA official, we just get to use the name. We're an independent news media organization with cameras all around Starbase and cameras all around the country, and if you let us, all around the world. We did send Chris G to Kourou. Anyways, today, as you can see, there is a roadblock set up in Starbase, Boca Chica, Texas. And that is because we expect to see some testing. Now you might be asking, Jack, they destacked Ship 25 from Booster 9, super confusingly. What on earth are they going to test? Well, as you can see, it's Ship 26. The suborbital tank farm has spooled up. In fact, the recondenser is active, which indicates the use of methane in today's test. And sure enough, we're hoping for some action today. So we'll get into that. If you have any questions, at NASASpaceflight in chat. I see the 5x5s. Thank you, everybody. I also see everybody booing Ship 26, as you should.
Good.
Because it's the worst ship. And there we go. Thank you, Adrian. Also on today's stream, I am joined by the ever-loquacious Adrian Bile. Adrian, how are you doing, good buddy?
I'm absolutely doing fantastic, and that's because also of the combination of commentators here. I can already tease you that there's for the longer watching members of this channel, you probably know what combination of commentators is coming up.
It's the
yes,
Chaos Crew, baby.
I don't know, Adrian.
It's-
Tell me.
Tell
me.
it might be some chaos coming up. We'll see. Either way, we are looking for some Ship 26 testing here coming forward. But we'll probably dive into it a bit more. But either way, Jack, I'm good.
Good. I'm glad you're good. That's good that you're good. And we will definitely be coming to you with a whole bunch of suborbital tank farm questions, given that you came up in the NSF universe as Mr. Spreadsheet tracking static fires on the suborbital pad. So I'm glad you're on commentary today. We got a bunch of questions to ask you here shortly about what we're about to go through. But first, you also heard the voice of Alex. Alex, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm really waiting for that bullet to get frosty.
Yes, indeed. All right, so we got Adrian in Germany, we got Alex in Spain, we got me here in Starbase, and we've got some cool views for y'all. Oh my god, this
Pie time
view.
right now. 'Cause
This
it's
view.
3:14.
Yeah, it is pie time. Everyone eat your pie. Anyways, I'll complain about this view later.
We also have
Hey.
Kevin.
Thank you. We also have Kevin in the back channel, pushing the buttons, pulling the levers, running in a giant steampunk hamster wheel to make all of this work. So thank you to Kevin. And also thank you to Das and Andrew, who helped us get this camera up and running this morning. Suffice to say, it was an ordeal. But we have this nice close-in view, thanks to everybody's hard work. So, hooray! It takes a team here at NASA Spaceflight. All right, so, as mentioned at the top of the stream, we are expecting Ship 26 testing. Who wants to take that one? Adrian, I guess I'm going to throw it to you. Oh, a pun token. What? There's pun tokens that show on screen now?
We really
Yes.
have those now?
Yes, we have.
What caused that? Like, what? I'm not familiar with the. Like, how did somebody cause that to happen? Did somebody make a pun and Kevin did it? Or did somebody donate
I think
little money to a pun fund?
I think you know how it goes here. It's like these kind of jokes that just get like their own dynamic, and like they start to roll faster and faster. And
Yes.
yeah, That then they just happen.
All right, sorry, I'm like a dog that sees a squirrel. Adrian, talk us through what we might see with Ship 26 during today's testing, which, as a quick reminder, the window lasts from now, when the road is now closed. It's actually closed closer to around noon. It lasts from now until 8 p.m. local, so around 5 hours, 4 hours, 45 minutes, somewhere in there, left in today's testing window. But Adrian, what might we see from horrible Ship 26 today? I was going to say good old Ship 26, but I decided to call it horrible. Go ahead.
Okay, class, let's get your flip charts out, because we are right now doing a bit of we are going down a list, and then that's how we will determine which 2 tests are possible today. Because we have potential tests that would do this kind of thing is either so the 4 tests that are in general happening with such a ship is cryotest, spin prime, pre-burner, or static fire. We can rule out 2 of these, because a cryotest would usually not involve the methane recondenser. And the methane recondenser is active. A methane recondenser is used to, as the name so eloquently says, recondense methane. It's basically there to recapture the methane, making sure to get it back into the tanks and not release it to the atmosphere, as methane is a very harmful gas. That's the first thing. So it cannot be a cryo. So we have spin prime, pre-burner, or static fire test left. It can also not be a static fire test, because a static fire test warrants a bit more steps of caution in the main form of having an overpressure notice delivered to residents to make sure that they leave their house if they hear a siren, because the overpressure can create like harmful shockwaves that could, for example, burst glass off windows. And so you don't want to make that happen. Since that has not been issued, it also is not a static fire test. So the potential 2 tests that we are looking for today, with spin prime to be fair, infinitely more likely, to be fair here, is spin prime and pre-burner test, because these are the 2 tests that could happen in this kind of conditions on a ship suborbital stand. And yeah, that's the playing field for today. Is that a good overview? Do you like that?
Yeah, I like that a lot. Thank you for walking us through it. It feels like it's been a long time since we've seen a ship tested on the suborbital pads. And we've watched this so many times, over and over and over again. So we kind of know the flow here. It's a little bit of a nice change of pace from Starship activities, with like a full stack or what have you, which, don't get me wrong, I love when there's new and unknown things happening. But this is like we're settling into the couch here on the stream. We're hanging out because we've seen this a lot, and we're just excited to see another ship get put through the paces, even if it's a horrible, ugly ship like Ship 26. But
also it was June. Just to add that, like the last test, if I recall correctly, of a ship on a suborbital stand was June, because after that, every cryo test and everything was moved to Massey's.
Right.
So,
right. And so that last test, was that Ship 28?
That should.
Can you bring up something real quick?
Uh-oh.
Do you see the bottom of the liquid oxygen tank and how it looks different in color?
Yes.
Oh.
They're loading locks, huh, Alex?
Oh, can we go? Sorry, Kevin. I'm totally directing it based off our member multi-view. But can we go to the close-up camera, because I see something? There we go.
Yeah,
there you go. Top right. You can see it.
Right.
Those
That's the quick disconnect that feeds the propellants into the ship, and you can see condensation coming from that piping. So yeah, I would say it's safe to say we are into LOX loading for today's test. At least LOX loading. The methane recondenser is active, so there is that to keep in mind. But really quickly, Alex, I want to have you explain to the viewers, because I already know. I totally know this answer. Otherwise, I could answer it, but I figure it'd be better to have you answer it. What's the difference between a spin prime and a pre-burner?
Hold on, because I'm seeing other stuff venting. I'm starting to see the engine chill pipes already venting.
Excellent.
Yes.
Oh yeah, you can see that there, bottom left and bottom right of the left-hand frame. Look at that.
Do we have 3 dogs on the stream that are just looking at the next thing that moves? Like, is this is what happening?
It's an exciting day. It's a ship getting put through engine testing. That's always exciting, and I think we're all sort of chomping at the bit here for some Starship testing. We thought we were going to get some full stack testing based on that marine safety notice. Then they destacked it, question mark, sad noises. But, you know, we're getting some Ship 26 testing today, which is a nice consolation prize. And like I said, it feels like we're getting back to our roots with this one, which just always feels good. But Alex, preburner, spin prime, what's the diff?
Yeah, so on a spin prime, the only thing that they spool up is basically the liquid oxygen side, the pumps basically are spin up, and so that basically tests the start of the spin up sequence of the Raptor, right? Once you have the pumps ready, the next step is lighting up the preburner. And so the preburner test, what it does is it spin ups the liquid oxygen side, it spin ups the methane side, and also activates the methane preburner. But it doesn't activate the liquid oxygen preburner because, especially on Raptor 2, if you activate both preburners, then those go into the combustion chamber and, you know, it produces thrust. And then that is basically a static fire test, which we're not expecting. And one of the things that you actually see different between a preburner and a static fire, even though those two basically shoot out fire from the Raptor engine, the difference is very clear in that the static fire produces a huge amount of thrust. You can actually see things like dust being kicked up and things like that, whereas the preburner test, since it's only one of the preburners that it's being active, it's not really that much of a thrust or any at all. You only see a bit of fire coming out of the engine, but doesn't produce any sort of meaningful thrust. Now, whether in the case of a spin prime test, you will only see like a high pressure jet of white gases, basically the condensation, the condensed liquid oxygen, basically being shot through the engine. During that test. And so overall, these are like the three types of steps in the ignition sequence of Raptor. And so whenever you see this kind of test, the spin prime, you can think of it as testing the start of the Raptor, then the preburner test tests sort of in the middle of the whole startup sequence, and then the static fire goes through the entire startup sequence and lets the Raptor burn for a little bit.
Makes a lot of sense. Thank you for that, Alex.
Yeah, beautiful explanation. I always love when I learn something from just an explanation.
So if I can just dumb it down for a little bit, a spin prime is like a wet sneeze, a preburner is like a spicy sneeze, and a static fire is, of course, a static fire.
What is a spicy sneeze?
You don't want to know. If you don't know, you don't want to know.
Okay.
I'm surprised you let me get away with that easily. Anyways,
I'm Googling it.
Don't.
Okay,
Pro
go
tip.
ahead. Go
Pro
on.
tip. Do not. All right, so y'all, if you have any questions at NASASpaceflight in chat, we will happily answer your questions that you have. Really quickly, James Pewerski, celebrating 29 months of membership. I can see with my eyes, I swear. Thank you so much for the 29 months of membership, James. Hopefully I didn't butcher your last name too bad. And John Mon, thank you for the support. They say beer money for the mods. Yes, indeed. I think anytime the Chaos crew is on stream, the mods have a little bit of extra work, so I'm sure they'll appreciate that. I certainly do. Because that means I can do more horrible things that make chat freak out. Cool, so we are looking at those engine chill pipes, we are looking at the ship QD on Suborbital Pad B there, and just sort of watching for things to start progressing here. The next thing we would expect to see is a frost line, right, Adrian?
The next thing we would expect... Yeah, I mean, we already have the discoloration, so as Alex perfectly pointed out, there is already LOX in this tank. It's just... It's basically just in the thrust section here.
Right.
And
Yeah, we can...
it doesn't go all the way basically to the tank wall. We would see a frost line very, very soon here. Like, that could happen any minute now.
Yeah, it's important...
Because...
go ahead, Alex. No, please.
No, go ahead.
It's
Okay.
important... Oh my god, go.
Oh my god.
Well, I was gonna say that one of the reasons precisely that we know that we are expecting frost to pop up is precisely because of that discoloration. Discoloration is because of the water condensing already on the outside of the tank, because it is still not touching the liquid oxygen yet, so you don't see that frost. But the tank bottom is already getting cold because it's already getting that liquid oxygen at the very bottom of the bulkhead. So because it is already getting a bit cold, you already can see that part of the bottom of the tank already having some droplets of water condensing on it, so it changes the outside appearance of the tank. And to say another thing, just to put a bit of numbers here, one of those aft bulkheads on the ship, they can store about 30 tons of liquid oxygen, which is a lot of liquid oxygen. So if you don't see frost just yet, it's not because like they are not loading anything. It's because they're still, it's still being filled up. The problem is they can fit so much in that bulkhead that it's still going up and up and up and up until it reaches the wall, and then you can see the frost. Go ahead, Jack.
Wait, can I just point out that that's another thing that that puts Starship in perspective for me? Because I remember that Electron holds about like 13 tons of mass at liftoff, right? Like somewhere in that ballpark.
Like total mass, right? Total mass.
Yeah, like the total mass of Electron, I think at liftoff is around 13 tons. So Starship can fit almost 3 times that mass in its thrust section before the propellant touches the tank wall.
Yeah, that's insane. And the weights of the propellants is always something I'm sure I've asked Alex about it like 20 million times, but it's because it's hard to believe. It's like, wait, how many hundreds of tons of LOX? That's insane.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's pretty wild, and it is definitely one of those things that helps you sort of wrap your head around the sheer scale of this vehicle. And if you're struggling to sort of picture mentally what we're talking about here, it's a giant cylinder, right? And each of the tanks, there's 2 tanks, a liquid oxygen tank and a methane tank. Each of the tanks, at its bottom, it's not just a flat, it's not a cylinder with a flat bottom. It's a cylinder with basically a bowl at the bottom. And that's sort of what we're talking about. To fill that aft bulkhead, to fill that bowl at the bottom of the LOX tank, at the bottom of the vehicle there that the engines are attached to the other side of, 30 tons of LOX. That's insane. That is utterly insane. And only when that bowl is full and it starts to actually climb up the sides of the cylinder, that's when you get the frost on the sides of the walls of the outside of the ship. So hopefully that people can sort of wrap their heads around what we're talking about. If this is one of their first tank watching sessions, that's kind of what we're looking at there. And it is important to note that we have seen tests done in the past where things did not get super frosty, because for the same exact reason that they can hold a large amount of propellants in just those domes. We expect to see a frost line today. We might see a tiny frost line. It might not, I don't think any of us expects the entire ship to frost up, right?
No.
Right.
That would be some serious propellant load, and I think if they load it completely, I would expect something like an MSIP, because that's so many propellant. Right. And also an overpressure notice.
Yeah, and so that's, just sort of trying to talk people through visually what we're expecting to see, what we've seen in the past, all that kind of good stuff. But how about we do some questions? I mean, obviously, let's address the giant steel elephant in the room. Edward Brown is asking, what is up with the constant stacking and restacking of Starship? Alex, you go first, because I know you like to hem and haw, and so I'm going to give you absolutely zero time to prepare. Zero time to prepare, buddy. You don't get to think about your answer and make it all nice and pretty while Adrian and I answer. You have to go, what's up with all this stacking and restacking? I have my theories. I'm sure Adrian has his. We'll get to those here in a second. But Alex, what's the deal, buddy, if you had to guess? Because obviously, we don't get super detailed stuff from SpaceX all the time. In fact, right when it was stacked last,
You're asking for me.
right when they stacked last, SpaceX even tweeted that they were going to do a wet dress rehearsal. and yet they still destacked. So, Alex, what's the deal?
That's the longest question ever.
I'm literally laughing here right now because I'm like, okay, well, I'm thinking of a way to actually answer that, but you're answering it already. Yeah. So I was gonna make a pun because I'm a fan of puns. That it's not up, it's actually down. So yeah, it's what's down. And so the problem right now is that we don't really know what's going on. That's sort of the major problem here, right? And while we see things, we don't really get any sort of, I don't know, notice by SpaceX, hey, this is what we're doing. We just can look at things and guess, right? That's the only thing that we can do. And so far, looking at things, they've been, I guess we've been looking at them looking at the ship and the booster. And so far, they have been, just looking at welds, looking at other components. I remember being yesterday with Kevin talking about, oh, they're looking at this part of the booster and they're looking at this part of the ship, and it was like, what are they looking at? They were looking at different locations. This morning has been the same. It's been pretty much like that ever since they destacked. We're thinking when they destacked that there was an issue with a quick disconnect because they didn't really go and connected that when they stacked. So we're thinking, oh my gosh, this is something that's going wrong with a tower or something. But then when they destacked and they looked over all of the vehicles in a lot of detail, frankly, it's like, maybe it's the vehicles or maybe it's both. Who knows, right? And so right now it's a big Whiskey Tango Foxtrot situation right now where it's like, we don't really know what's going on. We don't really know why are they stacking, destacking. It is potentially plausible that they were preparing for a full stack wet dress rehearsal and they were like, oopsies, we found something, right? And then they had to destack and look at the vehicles. But so far, we don't really know. That's the answer. The short answer is we don't really know. But yeah, I've tried to explain also the things that we have seen, and you can get to your own guesses and own theories.
All right, good job. Adrian, do you have anything to add?
I think, okay, can I address the elephant in the room?
Yes.
Did they once just stack to make photo shoots with the Cybertruck?
I mean, I've heard people say that, and it wouldn't surprise me. I mean, if you're going to... I mean, okay, let me back up here for a second. You have a Cybertruck. In fact, you have a fleet of Cybertrucks that you are getting ready, hopefully, to launch, publicly sometime this year. You're building them like crazy, and it's like, okay, it's about time we make some sick promotional material for such a thing. What do? A no-brainer thing to do is have it tow a Raptor down Highway 4 to the launch site. And if you're gonna do that, you might as well have a stack. I mean, I don't begrudge them if that is in fact the reason that they did that stack. It could have also been that they were going to do the wet dress rehearsal or whatever testing that SpaceX alluded to on Twitter, and again they had some vehicle issues or ground issues or whatever, and it ended up that stack was only used for the Cybertruck photo shoot, but maybe that wasn't the intention when they stacked it. I don't know. It's hard to say one way or... Oh, I hear a drone. Nice.
Yeah, that... Also, quickly, did we mention already that we got kind of big-ish news this morning with the marine notice?
No, please.
I mean, just to also say that, drone, it's like a bee. We also got a new marine notice, which,
to be fair... It's gonna sting you.
Thanks for it. That's not distracting at all.
The bee's gonna sting you.
We got a marine notice that indicates a imminent rocket launch on November 1st. To be fair, we got that before, and they were pulled at some point. It didn't happen. But we are kind of back where we were like a month ago, right? We are like kind of in a situation where we at least get a target date. So I think at this point it's safe to assume with the marine notice up, it will not launch before the 1st of November. However, it would probably slip a bit. But it's some knowledge, like, right? It's some things we know.
Right.
I think.
Go ahead, Alex.
Just like we posted, if you remember last month, we did a whole video about, how to trust these dates and like what are the signs that we look out for when we try to guess. Oh, look at that! We're seeing already venting from the aft section on the vehicle. I think it's from the vehicle. Not sure if it's from the umbilical instead.
That looks vehicle side.
Close. Yeah.
That's
hard to tell, though. You're right. Please continue.
Yeah, so we made this whole video, a great explanation, I guess, and basically this is sort of one of the things that you can look out for to know when something, so not when something will happen, but to know that something will not happen before that date. And sometimes actually these sort of notices don't even say when they're happening. Like if you look up some of these local notices to mariners, we are lucky that this one in particular actually says a date and a time frame, because for other operations they don't say a date or time, and that is because there are multiple other notice to mariners. So this is just a type of I actually explained this yesterday when we were asked during Starlink launch, but basically there are different types of node Mars, and so this is a local notice to mariners, but then there's another one which is called the navigational hazard warning. And so the navigational hazard warning, that is the one that is, for example, way better in the sense of it can be updated at any time, it can be modified at any time, it can be cancelled at any time, whereas this one, the local notice to mariners, those go in a bulletin every single week. And so if they put out those every Wednesday and SpaceX changes their mind on a Thursday, then you won't know about that until the next Wednesday. And that is very, very bad in terms of planning things ahead. And so we explain a lot about that, and we're hearing some venting right now. But basically, if you watch that video, it'll contain all of that detailed information of, how to interpret and how to use these sort of notices and different hints that we use to guess when a launch is going to happen.
Yeah, and it really is just a fantastic video that runs through every little checkbox that is on the list that lets you, as an astute viewer, sort of figure out when news comes out, like how excited should you be? Should you be excited? Is it a nothing burger? Is it something? Something burger, I guess. So yeah, definitely if you have not seen that video, check it out. It's amazing. But yeah, thanks for covering all of that, both of you. There you go, Edward Brown. First question on the stream, and it was a good one. Go ahead, Alex.
I was just going to add a little bit there to emphasize this. In my opinion, I think at least that video is good because we don't tell people, hey, this is when it's going to happen. Because no one literally can say that. And rather we say, hey, this is how you can guess it on your own. This is how you can keep being informed. And I think that actually adds more value to the video.
Yeah, I mean,
it's evergreen, as they used to say, or something. I don't know.
I hate that. Stop it. It really is. It really is a good. It's good to sort of have these milestones in your head and have them laid out, and just that way, like I said, you can know what you're looking at, and you can know what the news that you're getting really means. And I mean, anybody that tells you they know exactly what SpaceX is doing on any given day, I mean, well, take what they say with a boulder-sized grain of, I was going to say salt, but I guess I'll say sand because it's Boca Chica and it's very sandy. But take what they say with a boulder-sized grain of sand, just because SpaceX changes their mind a lot too. I mean, just look at the stack, destack, stack, destack. Day to day, a lot of the times, I think even some SpaceXers aren't fully up to speed on what's going on or the changing plans. So, make informed decisions about when you're coming down, if you're going to come down for Flight 2, and definitely take things you hear in the grapevine with a grain of salt, but, use it in your calculus. But, yeah, anyways, I think we've beat that horse to death enough. Sorry, Chris B. Let's do some supers and then some more questions. If either of you have the question panel open, feel free to add questions that tickle your brain into the queue, and we'll get right into them. I will do the same. But first, Stephen Shard, thank you so much for the 31 months of Capcom membership. They say, why is everyone trying to scare Ship 26? It's not Halloween yet. Oh, that's not what the boos are about, my friend. Matrix in chat, I just see really quickly asking me if I'm going to go home once Starship launches. Yes. I do not live in Boca, although I have been here for like 8 months out of the 10 so far this year, but that's just the nature of the beast. I do love Los Angeles. West Coast, Best Coast. The British Unicorn says, I'm so torn. Yay testing. Boo Ship 26. Agreed. 13-month Capcom membership milestone. Thanks, bud. Jim Cabot gifting a Red Team membership. Tank. Yay, Ship 26. Yay, also Blarg with a 22-month Capcom milestone. Thank you for that, Amtrak. All the support over the months. John Deppner. 5 Red Team memberships gifted. If you get a gifted membership, be a guy or a gal or a non-binary pal, and thank the person who gifted you the membership. Matt PD, thank you for the support there, the €5. They say, how can SpaceX perform a pre-burner test on an engine that supposedly has an autogenous pressurization in the main chamber? Wouldn't it just ignite? Alex, I'm looking at you.
Well, okay.
Let
me read again that because
I'm looking at you.
Yeah. How can a SpaceX perform a pre-burner test on an engine that supposedly has autogenous pressurization in the main chamber? Yeah, so I just actually mentioned this. It's only one of the pre-burners, so they don't ignite the 2 of them. They only ignite the methane pre-burner, which means that you're basically running half an engine in that case. And I'm not sure what it means that it has autogenous pressurization in the main chamber. I think they're probably conflating 2 different things there, where you can have... by the way, I think I'm starting to see already frost on the liquid oxygen tank.
Yeah, I'm staring at that right. Yep, for sure. There's frost.
A very thin line of frost, but it's there.
Yay!
There it is.
There we go. You can see it plain as day right there. Frost line on the LOX tank. Hooray!
But yeah, going back to the question, the autogenous pressurization is something that you do on the tank of the vehicle, whereas on the main chamber, what happens is that the two fluids that come from each pre-burner are so hot and at so high pressure that it just automatically combusts when it goes to the chamber. So that's why they don't need or at least that's our theory of why they don't need igniters on the main chamber. They do need them on the pre-burners. So that's why we're still seeing, the startup sequence for the booster, for example, is very complex, because the OLM, in the case of, of a booster, they need to get all of that into the pre-burners of each Raptor. But overall, you can have a Raptor that is basically running on just one of the pre-burners rather than both. And that's basically what they do on these pre-burner tests. And we have actually seen these things. While we haven't seen that on a ship here at Starbase, I think since Ship 20, back in, might have been December of 2021 or something like that. It was a long time ago. But we have seen those tests at McGregor, so you can check that out on McGregor Live. They happen very rarely, but we see them.
Good deal. Canuck Peso, thank you for becoming a PadRat member. John Deppner again, thanks for the support. They say, is that area near the pad really going to be a parking lot? I do believe that is part of SpaceX's, I don't know if right away is the correct terminology. I hesitate to use that, but yes, I do believe we have seen in some planning documents over the years that the area across from the launch site that has all the employees parked on the dirt right now will someday eventually be probably concreted over or asphalted over and turned into a parking lot. Wouldn't surprise me. Let's see here. Mizik, RBLX, Boo, Ship 26, but when Ship 25 B9 launch? 7-month Red Team member, thanks for that. Well, we talked about all the things to look forward to in that video that you can watch that details how to sort of divine when Ship 25 and Booster 9 will launch. But back to Ship 26, hopefully, now that we see a frost line on the LOX tank, we will start to see a frost line on the methane tank, although not necessarily, right, Adrian?
The problem is the downcomer.
What?
Because the transfer tube.
You sounded so pained. Anyways, continue.
Can you explain to me why you hate that one word?
I will in DMs.
Okay. Either way, the transfer tube for these ships can host so much methane. And then you also have the common bulkhead, which can do the same again, that it needs quite a lot of methane to reach the tank wall. And these tests usually operate on the lowest amount of methane that is possible, because methane in the end is the explosive part of the equation here. So if you don't have to load methane, you won't load methane, because it's kind of the most dangerous component. So yeah, they usually just use the minimal amount, and that's just the transfer tube.
I
Makes
believe
sense.
the reason why Jack doesn't like it is because it's actually called transfer tube. I believe, like for real, that's pretty much what a SpaceX uses, rather than downcomer. It's a type of downcomer, though.
It is, but my bugbear with it is it's a downcomer if it's on the outside of the tankage. It's a transfer tube if it's literally transferring the propellant through a different tank. It's a transfer tube. In fact, I'm pretty sure we've seen labeling with the word transfer tube on it, although I could be mistaken about that. Either way, I don't even know if I'm right, but I like being highly opinionated and annoying, so I'm going to continue to annoy Adrian by yelling at him every time he says downcomer.
I think I wrote it once in your script, and you were like, I will change this to transfer tube.
Sounds like
you
Yeah.
you actively rewrote the wording of my script, and we're like, nope.
Welp, next time you're
Someone
on
says-
camera, you can rewrite my script.
Someone was
You never
saying in chat
write
that this is from the
scripts for me.
60s.
Yet. Don't tempt me. Alex, what?
Someone's saying in chat that this nomenclature of transfer tubes from the 60s. I can tell you, it is not from the 60s. The transfer tube is transfer tube on Falcon 9 and Starship.
Yeah, so it's a transfer tube on Falcon 9
There are
also.
labels.
So
Exactly.
it would make sense that SpaceX would call it the same thing on the ship as it would on the Falcon 9 booster. Let's see here. I'm going to run through a couple more of these. Space Pope, Space Pope, with a 15-month Red Team membership. Thank you, Space Pope. Praise be. Ron Streams 20, thank you for the support. They say, hey, good day from Australia. I was wondering if the wet dress rehearsal goes well. Will we see a launch after? Yeah, we kind of think that the wet dress rehearsal is the final test for the full stack before a launch. Any disagreements there? 3, 2, 1. Voice your disagreements now, please.
Oh.
Okay, moving on.
Ding, ding.
Yeah. Black, thank you for the support. They say here comes a few memberships. Roland Hines gifting a Red Team membership. Black gifting 5. Thank you so much. Black Scott. Jeff Rowe gifting a Red Team membership. Wow, I love to see all the gifted memberships. Also, if you were on SBL earlier, thank you for gifting all of those memberships, because there was a huge gift train in SBL earlier. So thank you to everybody that was doing that.
That was so crazy. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, y'all are the best. Literally the whole reason we can do what we do. Thank you to all of our members. Still keeping an eye on Ship 26 here, keeping an eye on that frost line, slowly rising up the side of the vehicle. Oh my god. Dale Kirkwood says, tomato, with a 5 curly L super chat. Thank you, Dave. Or Dale. Sprague, thank you so much for the support. They said, been waiting so long for some Starship action. Agreed. Matthew Dahl, thank you for the support. They say, best rocket talk show around, even if you're wrong about Ship 26. Thank you. It means a lot. Let's see. Someone, thank you for becoming a Red Team member. The Nozzle, gifting a Red Team membership. I do this every time the Nozzle pops up, but are there any Venture Brother fans out there? Neither of you watches the Venture Brothers, right? Of course you don't. Adrian, you would love the Venture Brothers. What's wrong with you? Anyways, the Nozzle. The Nozzle. Only Venture Brothers fans will get that, but we'll move on. Eric Hull, thank you for the support. 6-month Red Team membership milestone. They say, if we could see inside, what color is the fuel? Someone else asked, but this is a good question. I believe the LOX is like a pale blue, right? Like clear.
Yeah,
Go ahead.
It's an excellent question. I'm only sure about LOX, but LOX I think we saw earlier, like it's like bluish clear, right?
Yes.
It's like
Yeah.
And methane, I actually don't know. I would assume clear, but I don't know.
I hope we never figure out how it looks like. It's spilled and everything. No.
Well, do you remember that wet dress rehearsal they did with Ship 24 and Booster 7? Remember that huge cloud, weird vent that we've never seen another one of? And we were kind of like, hey,
well,
what's that?
Do you remember, Jack, when it was methane near the flare stack, right?
All right, moving on. I'm going to mute you if you're not careful. Freddy Energizer, thank you so much. They say, oh, cool, I got a big green thingy here. I don't know what that means. Maybe they got a gifted membership. No, because they have a 13-month Red Team member milestone. Mark W., thank you for the support. They say, any idea on why they connected Ship 26 to the crane after the tanking test last time and then unhooked it without doing anything? Did they not do anything, or did they work on the ship? I don't recall.
It's always hard. Like they usually do it to give it stability while they work on it. So it's always hard to say they didn't do anything because there's probably some work going on. Also, I want to quickly add that according to, let me see here, the National Library of Medicine, methane is in its liquid form a colorless, odorless liquid.
Fun. I guess that's why they add mercaptans
Like
to natural gas.
Yep.
And Tim W., thanks for gifting a Red Team membership. All right. We have a series of questions here that I have prepared. So, so get ready. Okay, we're going to start off with James Atkinson asking, can the Chaos Crew call in Dossart for the perfect stream? I don't know. Doss is a busy man, but maybe if we try hard enough, we'll have to see. What's whoa?
That was 50 Red Team just gifted.
Holy
I'm sorry.
Cow, from Ali DeMercy, 50 Red Team memberships gifted. Thank you so much, Ali.
Well, knowing Ali, they're probably going to do another round because they're already famous here in chat.
I love looking at chat and seeing all of the new green names. Like, Colin was gifted a membership by Ali DeMercy. Ryan was gifted, Daly was gifted, like, heck yeah. Thank you, Ali. That's a whole bunch of people that can check out the sweet perks that you get with a membership at NASA Spaceflight. And we have some cool perks. So definitely like to have more people getting a sweet taste of those perks. At Red Team and above, you get, like, behind the scenes stuff. You get a whole bunch of photos and member videos and things of that nature. You also get access to the members multi-view, where you can see all the different cameras, and you also get the members only emoji and a bunch of other good stuff. So check out your awesome perks that you are getting thanks to the extreme generosity of Ali and everyone else who's gifting those memberships. Membership program, I mean, I'll keep the spiel short, but membership program is the only reason we can do what we do. Thank you so much to all of our members. It's absolutely amazing what y'all's support has allowed us to accomplish in terms of building out our infrastructure and getting cameras placed everywhere and paying people for their time, and it's just utterly amazing. Thank you to all of our members. If you want to hang out in our Discord, Capcom level and above is Discord access, and boy, it is a fun Discord. But I will keep the spiel short because we are looking at this frost line slowly crawling up the side of Ship 26 here, and I have some more questions prepared. I
want to quickly acknowledge the fact, no, we will not hear the sound today, chat. I saw that. Person, you know who you are. I know you watched the Starlink the other day, and yes, no sound hearing today.
I mean, we might hear something. We do have microphones deployed as usual, but the microphone for the camera that you were looking at on the left-hand side was a bit of a this camera was a bit of an annoying jerk this morning. Let's put it that way.
I don't think you're
it was
what he's talking about.
Yeah, it was the whole thing with me say watch out for the sound.
Oh,
yeah, this is a very tasty view.
Right.
I can really feel it.
That was a good stream. The stream where you apparently had synesthesia and could taste sound and see. Yeah, anyways. Sorry, I'm a little bit traumatized from this morning. It was a kind of a hustle to get that close-in view set up. Had a little bit of camera issues, had a little bit of network issues, had all kinds of fun stuff. So let's just say I'm glad that camera's there. And everybody cross your fingers and pray that it keeps working.
See, we're talking about... I wanted to quickly point out here, you can see the actual whole liquid oxygen tank right now being different color than the rest of the vehicle. So now that cold has basically climbed up the side of the vehicle and just almost covered the entire liquid oxygen tank.
And you can even see the methane tank. Like, you can barely see it, but the methane tank also has a different color than
It's like a little bit darker, right? Like a little bit darker.
Yeah, like I think you can see all 3 segments here, kinda, which also indicates there's, and we know that based on recondenser and everything, there's also some stuff going on with the methane tank.
Excellent. All right, prepared question time. I have like 4 questions all lined up, and I'm going to chain them. If this was Street Fighter, I would get a very high score. Well, hello, Ship 26. Hi, hello.
Good morning.
We're about to talk about you. Overpressure notice, says Inti Leo. They're asking if there was an overpressure notice. Also, boo, Ship 26. Was there an overpressure notice? Adrian?
No.
So, today is either going to be a spin prime or a preburner, given that there is methane involved in today's test, as we just noted. So no overpressure notice. There has not been an overpressure notice. We are not expecting a static fire, although if it is a preburner test, and it does go well, then we should see some flames produced, but not thrust. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yes.
Excellent. All right, next question in the chain. Andy Skibba says, S26 needs a ghost so we can boo it. That's not really a question, it's more of a statement, but I added it, I'll do what I want.
Just wait a few months and you'll get the ghost of Ship 26.
Well, what I was going to say is that the ghost for Ship 26 that's scaring the heck out of it is SN15. It's like, woo, and it's like, I'll be good, I'll pre-burner.
Thanks for reminding me once again that SN15 was scrapped. That's like, every time you mention that, I'm getting a bit mad?
Yeah, no, mad. Mad is the right word. It belonged in a museum, but anyways, that's neither here nor there. We have more questions in the queue to chain up together. Adrian Lewis is asking, what's with the Ship 26 hate?
It's a long story. It looks hideous.
Is it? Is it a long story? I don't think it's a long story.
It's not a long story. It just looks hideous. Like it has like this non-installed TPS grid pattern. It has no aerodynamic flaps. It's just like a giant steel tank with a nose. I mean, it doesn't look cool. That's the story, I think.
I have a little bit longer answer, but we'll get to that here after the next question in the chain, which is from JVideo YouTube saying, why Ship 26 testing again? Why does Ship 26 have a header tank if it was never designed to be used as a reusable ship for landing? I think therein lies at least part of the root of why we jokingly, I must make clear, we're joking around here. We're having a good time with our friends here on the NASA Spaceflight stream. That's why we're booing it. It's not serious. You can like Ship 26, and we're all still friends. We're just having a good bit of fun. But the kernel of the dislike for Ship 26, I think, at least for me, comes from the fact that it's a weird Frankenship, and weird Frankenships are sometimes cool, and sometimes it's just like, ew, I don't like this thing. And what do I mean by that? Well, as Adrian was just saying, Ship 26 has the studs installed where the TPS system would normally be installed. So it could have had a TPS system installed. Did I just say thermal protection system? Oh god, I hate myself.
Yeah. TPS system.
It also, the nose cone was originally going to have aero surfaces. There was a spot for flaps on the nose cone. They did not install the flaps.
Yeah, friction as well.
And so that is also why it has a header tank. It's because this ship, it's like part of the way through production, they changed gears pretty significantly and decided to do something different. Maybe just to build a ship faster, or to just keep cranking ships out to learn how to build the machine that builds the machine. I don't know, but Ship 26 is an abomination. That's why we hate it.
Can I say one thing?
Please go.
About why does 26 have a header tank if it's not going to be landed? Well, I could say the same for 24, 25, and pretty much any other vehicle that's going to just splash down in the ocean.
Right.
Because even by nominal situation where it's just going to be splashed down in the ocean. Because 24, we saw that planning, right? Where, sure, it was going to, under nominal situation, which it didn't happen, but under that nominal situation, it will have gone through re-entry, right? And afterwards, it wouldn't have attempted any sort of landing at all. It was just, belly flopped against the ocean. It just, break up. And so that would have been a really great belly flop, but didn't happen. And Ship 25, we're pretty much expecting the same kind of profile for Ship 25. Now, Ship 28, we don't know what's going to happen. We really don't know what's going to happen with any other future vehicle after Ship 26. So, like, is there going to be any actual orbital vehicle where it just sticks in orbit for a few laps around the Earth or something? Like, we don't really know, right? And so, I'm not sure if you can really say that, oh, well, it has the header tank because it's gonna land, rather than the opposite. It has a header tank and, like, just because, and it's not really related with landing at all. It just has the header tank.
I want to quickly point out that we are right now very much approaching the level where they aborted this test the last time.
Thank you for that.
I compared the previous stream of S26 testing we did, and we are right now approaching a level that is very similar to the level that we saw the last time. So the next thing we should see, if the test goes as it went the last time without aborting, would be a fill of the header tank, which basically happened right at when they depressed the last time.
Good deal.
That's basically the end of the test. Like, I think Alex noticed, hey, the header tank is being filled, and then they depressed.
Got it. All right, so we will keep an eye at the tip of the nose cone there where the header tanks are and see... Oh, we got some venting from the ship. I like to see that, as long as it's not a depress vent. Neat. Okay, so Ship 26, why all the hate, etc., etc. I mentioned that we were joking. Also, all of that we just said, plus somebody told chat the other day when we were looking at the full stack that every time we looked at Ship 26, we should boo it. So, I mean, just to give you a sample here, if we're looking at the full stack, or even just 2 flight articles sitting there ready to be stacked, hopefully,
Yay.
It's like, yay, look at this. This is the future. This is the next thing that's going to fly. How awesome is that?
And yay and everything.
Right, it's got TPS, it's got flaps, as Elon decided. Like, it's how it should be. And then you look at Ship 26, and it's like, boo! Boo that ship. Boo. All right, that's
I want a quick...
Yay! Boo! All right, that's yeah. So now you get it. That's why all the Ship 26 hate. It's really not serious in any way. I'm sorry if you're annoyed by it, but we're all just having a good time here. Adrian, go ahead, buddy. Tell us something smart.
Yeah, just making sure again, like, we are not actively hating against, like, a vehicle here. It's we are spending a lot of time covering these vehicles, and sometimes you get unrationally attached or not attached to vehicles, and that's the story, I think, right?
Right.
It's our way of, hey, we look at these things 10 hours a day sometimes. Let's make it more fun.
It's just all in good fun, you know?
Yeah.
And once again, sorry if it's annoying. I'll try and tone it down a little bit. Keyword there, try. But yeah, that hopefully explains that if you did not catch the stream the other day where we were having fun and booing Ship 26. Really, we should hope that Ship 26 does well in today's test, because who knows, maybe the data they're getting from this is important for, who knows, licensing or FAA purposes or what have you. I have no idea.
Also,
even if it's just for future ship designs or procedures like hot staging, engine startup or something. This is good data. As I always say, more data, more better. And Ship 26 is providing more data to the test program, and so ultimately it will be used for good, even if it itself is bad. Adrian, go ahead.
I just want to point out that it's definitely not the most hated ship ever. There's 2 others that come into my mind instantly that get very heavy reactions from people.
I immediately think of...
SN9 and SN11.
Okay, yeah, I was going to say, I immediately am thinking of SN11. I didn't know what the other one was, but SN9 makes sense. I have no love lost for SN9, although I know what you're talking about. Cough, cough, FOD, cough, cough.
Yes.
And here we go, to wrap up the question chain for Ship 26 that I had so carefully arranged. Rainwalker is saying, I love Ship 26. It tests for future improvement for other ships. Righto, buddy. You got it, Rainwalker. So, again, we're all just kind of booing in good fun here. I'm going to do some super chats.
Booing
and then
in good fun.
Yeah, you know, you go to a show, you throw some tomatoes, it's all good.
That's totally what happens.
I'm going to run some super chats here, and then we'll do some more viewer questions as we continue to watch for the next signs of this testing flow. Adrian, I guess based on what you were saying a moment ago, the next thing we might see, not necessarily procedurally, but based on the last time they tried this test a couple weeks ago, is the header tank getting frosty, right?
Yeah, if it follows the same test.
Which it might not, and it's important to point out,
yeah.
but just sort of trying to game plan this out. If all
Yes.
goes as the previous test, that's what we'll see next. If not, what about if not?
Well, if not, this will be kinda in a state where they will fuel up it more, and at some point we will probably notice that they stop fueling it, and it will start to prepare itself for whatever they want to do. And usually we also see some behavior changes on, I think, the engine shield pipes very shortly before ignition.
Right.
Ignition, I shouldn't say, T0. Yeah, that's kind of the things we will see. The engine shield has changed a bit. Like, it used to be a 13-minute, very strong indicator. The problem is this engine shield pipe is kind of going a bit longer, and sometimes not only related completely to the engine shield. So it's like there's different things to look at here, and we will learn as we go.
Good deal. Hagen, or no, sorry, I got Hagen on the brain. Hi, Hagen. Hayden, 5150, with a 1-month red team milestone, is saying, let's say everything goes right and there's no damage to stage 0. How fast can we expect the next booster rollout to the pad for testing? I'd say fairly soon, given that Booster 10 has been nestled away inside the Mega Bay after accomplishing cryo-proof testing at Massey's. It could very well have all of its engines by now and be ready to be rolled out for its own static fire campaign, assuming everything goes right and there's no damage to stage 0. Alex,
Yeah.
do you disagree?
I think a minimum of 1 or 2 weeks until something comes back to the pad. Even if there's no damage, they will probably want to gather data on how it, just like looking at things, measuring what is the... Obviously, there's going to be some damage, but obviously we're expecting it to be as least as possible. But they need to go out there and look it up, right? And try to measure how it is and what needs to be replaced, what needs to be refurbished and things like that. And so I expect at least 1 or 2 weeks of them going out there and look at the pad and because that data is very important for the next few flights to, the more data, as you say, more data, more better. And so if they go back and look at all the data and all of the how the pad just held up the launch, then they are able to then mitigate that for future flights as well.
Yep. Hang on a second. Sorry.
You will hang on a second.
No,
No
you're
problem.
Good. You did already. You hung on the second that I needed. Thank you. Just not me muting to burp. That's all.
No.
Okay. So I would agree. I don't think very long. I do think Alex is right that there would need to be, some obvious checkouts and inspections of the pad, which would take a little bit of time necessarily, but hopefully a week or two. That's really optimistic, but hopefully they can get to that point, if not for Flight 3, for flights down the line. Adrian, any thoughts before we move on?
No, let's move on.
Cool. Gunfox, thank you for gifting 10 Red Team memberships. Very generous of you. Anonymous gifting 5 Red Team memberships. Very generous of you. Also, XCal for you. Thank you for the super chat. Merrick, thank you for being a Red Team member for 14 months. They say, thanks for all your hard work. Love it. Have a nice day, y'all. Oh, we are having a nice day because we're looking at Ship 26 about to be tested and provide glorious, exquisite data to the data lake that SpaceX is accumulating for Starship. Shannon Province, thank you for becoming a Padrat member. Christian Lilly, thank you for being a Capcom member for 31 months. They say the best kind of bacon is Kevin bacon. We can't eat Kevin bacon, at least not without serious ethical concerns, so I don't know if I agree with that. Merrick, thank you for gifting 5 Red Team memberships. John Deppner with another $10 super chat, thank you. They say 2 years, 2 months, 25 days as launch director member. Y'all's updates, vids, live streams, commentary, and phenomenal launch coverage. I'm not spending my money, it's an investment. Bro.
Aww.
Right, that's real sweet. Thank you so much, John. We really appreciate it. And, frankly,
It's
I spend a non-insignificant portion of my money just buying more gear and stuff, so I always tell myself it's an investment. So thanks for the support, Alex. Or Adrian, go ahead.
yeah, I'm just blown away when people say their 2 years launch director and stuff. Like that's so much support.
Dare I
so
say,
it's-
I'm gonna take this one out of the chest of drawers here and use it because it's a special occasion for John. I dare say it's bonkies.
it's absolutely
gosh.
bonkies.
Yes. Starship
go.
25, thank you for the $15 super chat there. They say, what would be the best rank to join Padrat, Capcom, Red Team? I mean, if I'm going to be a... I don't even know what the word... The best level is flight engineer. But the best level is also Capcom. I think Capcom is sort of the sweet spot because you're not paying a whole lot, but you are getting Discord access. So I would say, the best level of support is whatever level of support you can provide. And if that's not monetary, if it's just hitting the like button, hitting subscribe, telling your other friends who might be interested in what we do and what SpaceX is doing and just spaceflight in general, telling them about us so we can hit a million subs, all of that is super amazing. But if you can contribute monetarily and you do choose to do so, which we so appreciate, Capcom level is sort of a good level to come in at, once again, because you get Discord access. And our Discord is an amazing place. There's a gaming channel where you can see all the horrible things that Moldy Space makes in KSB, and other people too. There is a sports ball channel if you're into that. There's of course Starship channel and channels for all the different rockets and launch sites and all that kind of stuff. So the Discord is a massive sprawling community because y'all are awesome, and you can find a little subset of that community to make your home if you come in the Capcom membership. But let's continue on here. Pookerly is asking, do you think there will be a static fire today? Adrian, why no?
Thanks. No, because the overpressure notice was not issued, and static fire has the potential to generate some, a pressure wave kind of. So the residents in the area were warned to leave their houses close to T0 when they hear siren, so they are not, or at least not stand next to windows or something other that could, kind of pop during these tests and then rain glass on them, which would be very, very bad. So, since these issues are not in any way noted for today, we do not expect any static fire testing.
One of the things that we usually see as well is that, some people say, oh well, but there was this time when they did a static fire and they only, knocked on Mary's door basically 10 minutes before, and they were like, hey, we're doing a static fire, right? And so that could happen, but it is not the norm. Just because something is likely doesn't mean that it is gonna happen, because probability is very, very low. But again, it could happen, but obviously we hope that at least whenever they do a static fire, for sure we get some notice, because it's cool when we actually can know that they're going to do one, right? Because it kind of prepares us for like when we see deluge or something. In this case, at the suborbital pads, usually is some kind of I don't know, hose or something that basically spreads out some water underneath of the engines. But either way, it's really cool to know when there's actually a static fire test. So we hope, or at least I hope, that since today we don't have an overpressure notice, they don't surprise us. Because man, I don't like these kind of surprises. When they destroy all of our predictions and things like that.
Right. As much as I like being surprised and excited, I do sort of like predictable things as well. So this is, not to say that today is entirely predictable. There's always unknowns. They could always do a static fire without an overpressure notice. Who knows? But in the heritage of all the tests that we've seen and all the times they've done this, that would be fairly unlikely. Let's see here.
I like things in Boca Chica where the audience, as we all are, can figure out the unknowns. That's the thing I like about Boca Chica and tank watching in general. When we can look at things, understand them, and learn from that. The problem is with unpredictability it's not really fun, because it just happens and we cannot learn anything from that. It just happens.
I disagree.
And that never happens again.
You can learn a lot from things that aren't predictable, including that you're bad at predicting things. Look at
but that doesn't sound fun to me.
Well, that's how very German of you.
Yes.
It looks like the condensation on the LOX tank, has that increased? What are we, is that just a shadow or a glare? What is that? Not the sun stripe there, but to the right of that. That's kind of interesting looking.
Oh.
It's just a little vent. Just a little vent. It's just a little vent. It's still good. It's still good. It's just a little vent. It's still good. It's still good.
Oh god.
That's
It's fine. All right, so yeah. Well, this is the time where we note that if this is in fact an abort of the test and they are depressing the tank, there is 3 hours and 45 minutes of the window left. So, not gonna say it's over. We are just seeing a sustained vent. It could totally still be fine. Really, the only way to know at this point is if they reopen the road, and that won't be for a little while. And so we're gonna hang out and keep watching what's going on. But that vent is a little bit
Another
concerning.
tank, right, Adrian? You're seeing
yeah,
another
it's the
tank?
same abort. It's the same way.
It's the same moment.
Oh my god.
Wow. Huh.
Oh my god.
Well, yeah, maybe they weren't going for a pre-burner, and this is some sort of test of the. I got nothing.
Nope. I love how
This is
we
a
were
common Ship 26L, I guess.
Yeah, it's like I love how we were in denial at the beginning and we're like, no, this is fine, and then the event extended, like, nope, not anymore.
I'll never miss a chance to shoehorn a Simpsons quote into a live stream. But yeah, this is looking like a depress vent of the LOX tank. And again,
Yes,
there is 3 hours and just under 15 minutes or 45 minutes left in the window, so it's not over necessarily. We're going to keep watching and seeing what happens. If they start to detank the ship and we see that frost line start to recede, then we'll know that whatever they were doing, they either got to the point they wanted and stopped, or they did not get to the point they wanted and they aborted. But either way, we'll keep watching what's going on, and we'll keep answering your questions as that vent continues.
Yeah, this is a full abort. Like this is the LOX tank basically just being emptied.
Oh man.
Still good, it's still good.
Yeah, right. It's just a little wet. It's still good. It's still good. Evan, thank you for grabbing something from the store. What did you grab, Evan?
And coming from the QD again? Wait.
Oh
yeah, that's the event we saw at the beginning again, right there.
Right,
there.
That's next to it. But yeah, Evan getting that sweet metal print from the store. Thank you, Evan. Greg McManus, thank you for the support. They say Ship 26 looks like a. Oh, I'm not reading that out loud. Yeah, ooh, caught myself. Thank you for the support, Greg. Elite Dan, thank you for being a Padlet member for 31 months. They say hail Ship 26. Johnny Nielsen, thank you for the support there. They say suborbital test flight of Starship 26. As much as I wish, I think that would be the one thing that could redeem Ship 26. But no, I don't think that's in the cards, although that would be great. Thank you for the support there. Enraged Bacon. Why is it enraged?
Nice.
I have questions.
It's because it's below 10% life. The encounter goes into enrage below 10%.
Wow, the D&D joke was so good. I can't.
Not only D&D, to several games.
Yeah, but yes, also yes. I would expect nothing less from you, good sir. Anyways, Enraged Bacon is saying, hey NSF crew, what's your best guess of the ship number that makes a successful orbital flight and landing? I'm gonna say 30. Yep, 30. That's a King of the Hill reference. Adrian, what number are you gonna guess? Because we got to give Alex as much time as possible to figure out how to weasel out of this.
Yeah, like he needs to figure out like how to not give a clear number. I'm gonna say 35 and 18.
All right, good deal. Alex, I'm going to mute you after like 10 seconds if you start hemming and hawing. So give us literally the next 2 words I want to hear out of your mouth is a number. Go.
42.
Hey, good job.
Wow.
That vent
getting
stopped.
there.
Words.
I know, right? I'm like, you have to herd him like a cat, but he can be herded.
Come on, Jack. Don't treat me like this.
Just throwing you right under the bus, buddy. I'm sorry. So that vent stopped. It's kind of stopped and started a couple times. I don't. Go ahead.
There's a shy hope here. If the hope stack doesn't start, I still have hope that they will just refuel.
Did
If
you just
that
say-
also,
you
oh,
say
like the
Pope?
vent stack. Yeah, the
Yeah, I
vent
was gonna
stack,
say, did you say Pope stack? This isn't the orbital farm, my buddy.
Yeah, sorry, it's too many orbital tests. But
I mean,
if the vent stack on the suborbital farm also goes, then,
right,
well,
right. Well, whoa, was that a
Well-
preburner?
What happened there? Wow.
Was that a preburner test?
that looked weird.
There was definitely fire.
Yeah,
There was
that looked
fire.
like a pre-burner.
But that looked why during a depress?
And I'm looking, and it seemed to be just one engine. That was
Okay,
interesting.
we need. I'm putting our production here on the spot, but we need some replays.
Oh,
of
yeah.
That's. We have something to talk about here.
Yeah,
So
they seem to have done a pre-burner test of just one engine. I'm
So
looking
it was
back
still
on
good.
camera.
No, but it was
Okay,
doing a
so, yeah, the mean-
depress.
I mean, I don't know that we can say that was a depress, Adrian. It certainly looked like one based on what we've seen in the past, but I mean, new ship, new flow. Maybe the tank was at pressure and they were just releasing pressure to maintain the tank at the necessary pressure level for a pre-burner test. I don't know. That was definitely not expected, but
Yeah,
neat. Very neat.
Yeah.
I totally
Somebody in
did
chat
not
saying.
expect.
Somebody in chat saying, "Sorry, boss. Thought you said hit the red button." It's like. We will get you some replays of all of that. Like we have to talk about this. There's some talking going on here now.
Yeah, good deal. I mean, that is, like we were talking about a few minutes ago, predictability versus unpredictability. I don't think, clearly none of the three of us were predicting that they were about to fire up an engine right then. And that was mainly because of that extended vent, which I don't think we've seen with any of these previous flows. So that's either a new quirk with ship 26 and beyond, or something else is going on. Because, I mean, we have seen 28 tested on this stand. It did not exhibit that type of behavior.
Yeah, and the reason
That's-
why we usually say that is because when we see that kind of vent, it's because they are depressing the tank, and when they are depressing the tank, it's mostly just them precisely eliminating that pressure inside of the tank. And normally, when they do that, that means that because usually what you do is you pressurize the tanks to a certain flight pressure, and
Right.
then the engine can actually do its work. And so I don't really know what happened there, where they did this prolonged depress vent and now they tested it afterwards. Like, it was about a minute afterwards. I think it was at 4:21 and 10 seconds or so, more or less. But yeah, it was weird. We really did not expect that. We're definitely gonna look through those replays once we have them available.
I think this is one of the weirdest tests I've ever provided commentary for in Boca Chica. Like,
Yeah.
a ship getting frosty, then a prolonged vent, which, to be fair, everybody of us here thought it's a depress vent. Like,
I
and
was like deluding myself to try and hope that it was not a depress vent, but based on everything I and we were seeing, it did look like a depress vent. I would have called that a depress vent if you held my feet to the fire that shortly afterwards came out of ship 26. See what I did there?
And also, and
go
just to add on all the weirdness here, we just saw the return of a pre-burner test of a single engine, which we have not seen for over a year.
6
This is-
vehicles ago. That was ship 20, way back when. I don't even remember. I know it was 2021, but I don't remember the exact date.
That's like this is
Single-
some serious confusion. Sorry, we also
you're
have
good.
to
You're good.
we have to understand this.
Single engine pre-burner. That's so different. I would have expected more than one engine for today's test. But then again, who knows what sort of data they're trying to gather. It could be that they wanted to gather data from an engine starting up with a tank that had a different pressure than nominal or something along those lines. I mean, they're not always, let me see if I can phrase this right. They're not always going to test exactly the perfect configuration as you would hope it would go in flight or what have you. Sometimes they're going to want to test off nominal configurations or just different configurations. Now the tank pressure is at this, we'll fire up one engine and see what happens. Now the tank pressure is at that, now we'll fire up two engines and see what something like that. I'm really obviously grasping at straws here, but interesting that they did a single engine pre-burner with that long extended vent first. That's not something that we've seen before. All right, both of you conference and try and wrap your heads around this. I'm going to speedrun some more super chats because we're getting a bunch of support today. Thank you all. I don't want to get too behind in these, and we're like 20 something minutes behind because we had some good questions, and then we had a depress, and then we had some very interesting fire. So we're working on getting a replay sort of deal for you guys of that. And in the meantime, while we wait for that to come up, Gunfox61, thank you for the super chat. They say, well, Ship 25, I still call them SN. But anyway, this looks like a grain silo. Only thing missing is a grain elevator. It's true. It does kind of look like a grain silo. I did like the SN naming better than ship, but you know what? I try to keep my nomenclature aligned as much as possible with SpaceX, with the minor exception of occasionally naming a crane a funny name. But Taylor Van Camp, thank you for the support. They say Ares 1 is still better, just saying. Let's not fight. All rockets, good rockets, except for kill rockets. Can we get that on a shirt? Adrian, can we get that on a shirt? All rockets, good rockets, except kill rockets? I'm not hearing a very resounding approve. Oh, there you can see
looking there at the via Starbase Live.
It's definitely a single engine pre-burner test.
What makes you say it's a single engine, just out of curiosity?
Because you can see there's just one very distinguished burst of gas out of one single engine. There you can see it.
There you go.
That's one I would say that's a sea level engine. Based on the way how the like the radius of the everything and also the position. So that's one single sea level engine pre-burner test. Okay, let's I'm trying to understand this right now.
Exactly, and I've seen people confused in chat because it looks like a spin prime that went wrong, right? And this is basically what we've actually seen when they've done a spin, not a spin prime, excuse me, a pre-burner test, where it looks like it is a spin prime at first because the engine is spinning up. That's actually what a spin prime is all about. But then it goes one step further where they ignite the fuel pre-burner. Instead of igniting both, they ignite only one of them. And so it definitely is a pre-burner. That's what we usually see when they actually test these pre-burners during tests at McGregor, or when they were doing those here at Starbase back in the days, because it's been a long while since they've done this kind of testing here at Starbase.
So interesting to see a completely different test than what we've used to and what we've seen in a long time. I mean, like you said, Adrian, it's been how long since the last pre-burner?
Yeah, like Ship 20. That's how long.
Holy moly.
And people are,
it has been ages.
Are still confused about this because I keep seeing this question. The fire is totally what we expected to happen today because it is a pre-burner test.
Yeah, a pre-burner test is sort of...
You see the fire.
I mean, again, it's like a spicy sneeze. They are ejecting propellant out of the engine. It is ignited, but the main combustion chamber, which is where the real party in any rocket engine takes place, although arguably maybe also the turbo pumps, but I digress. the main combustion chamber is not ignited. So there is no thrust produced. You can even see in the replay that we have there on the left-hand side, the cloud of fire sort of just wafts upwards and dissipates. There's no dust that's kicked up, and I assure you, it's very dusty out there. It's Boca Chica. It's basically on the beach. There's no thrust produced here. It's just propellants being ignited in the process of going through the turbo pumps and coming out the end of the nozzle. But main combustion chamber not ignited. Very, very interesting test. Adrian, go ahead. Sorry, I cut you off.
Just to make sure that people are understanding our confusion. We are not confused about the result of the test. Everything, from what we can see, looks like SpaceX just performed a very successful pre-burner test of a single sea-level engine.
Right.
Our question is more, A, the way they got there, and B, why. That's why we are confused. We are not thinking SpaceX failed at something today. We think, at least from my perspective, this looked like they achieved what they wanted to do. It's more the question of us figuring out what they wanted to do, which we are trying to do right now. And yeah.
Are we keeping an eye on that frost line? Does it look like it's going to? Because now my next question is, hey, there's a whole bunch of time left in this window. Do they do another pre-burner?
I mean, there was this one SN9 day, which I call my most horrible day of all time.
What is that in German? Is there a long German word for that?
I think about, but like most horrible day of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could translate it directly, but there's no like a single word for it.
Just do it. Just translate it.
It's der unfassbar schlechteste Tag meines Lebens.
Beautiful.
There you go.
Beautiful. Thank you. Continue being smart. I'll stop being dumb.
But yeah, it's in theory they could. Again, the flare stack is probably our biggest indicator from here, because usually the flare stack indicates testing being done. Like that's what we are looking for here right now. Although
that has not happened yet, right? There is no flare stack active. Well, really vent stack now. But is the frost on the header tank getting more, or is that the same amount that it's been? I'm just like, now I'm on frost watch.
Yeah,
I'm
it's
seeing
like
about the same.
Adrian?
It's you start to see things with these tests, right? But I mean, I don't, correct me if I'm wrong, Alex, but I don't see like the huge depressurization frost we have seen on the LOX tank on the previous test. So, to me, it seems like the LOX tank is still at least partially pressurized.
Interesting. Yeah, I mean, I'm super curious to see if they do any more tests today, given the amount of time they have in the window, and given the fact that they only did that single engine. I mean, maybe they fire up another single engine, or maybe they fire up a slightly larger subset. Who knows? Maybe they do nothing and open the road and detank the ship. But that's what we're here watching for now, as we keep trying to wrap our heads around what we just saw. I mean, it's funny because we're talking about how this is like a predictable day, and it's back to our roots, and it's back to our roots more than we even knew, because we're sitting here looking at a giant tank of liquid oxygen and methane and trying to divine what it is that we just witnessed based on all the data points that we have. That's classic tank watching. And there you can see the replay on the left-hand side once again from a different camera angle. You can see that engine start up, but not finish starting up, because if it did, then thrust would be produced. But there you have it. Expected amount of fire today. Wow, that looks so cool.
That's with one engine. If I'm gonna leave a link in chat of how it looks like with 6 engines on Ship 20 when they did that. I think that was the last test that they did, and it is quite fiery, because it looks like, you know how Delta 4 Heavy, the flames come up off the side of the vehicle,
right?
And engulfs it. It looks the same, and it's amazing.
Right.
So I'm gonna leave it in chat so people can watch it.
This is how nerdy I am and how much I deal with our YouTube videos. This video, the last pre-burner test with Ship 20 was so long ago that the thumbnail for the video is still an older style of thumbnail where we had like this gray gradient and we had subtitle text that we don't do anymore. That's how long. It's that old. But yeah, that's a cool link.
Are you staging phases of? Are you staging and phases of NSF based on the thumbnail design?
Yes, you should have seen the first ones. In fact, I think you did see the first ones. Oh lord.
Oh yeah.
So thankful for Brady and everybody else on the thumb team that helps our thumbnails look good. Whew! I'm riding the adrenaline wave here. Sorry if I'm going a mile a minute, but that was exciting. You can see from another angle here that test once again.
Can we go to Mars, Kevin? There we go. That's
the vent stack, right?
Vent stack, yep.
That's the vent stack that usually announce conclusion of at least this tanking attempt.
Right. So, chat, if you see the trebuchet in frame, don't ask me why there's a trebuchet. I don't know. I wish it wasn't there. Anyways, look at the trebuchet. Then move your eyes to the right. Some would say pan your eyes to the right. You see those 3 vertical, sort of stout, short, black tanks. And then to the right of that, in front of Suborbital Pad A, is what used to be the flare stack. That is now the vent stack, because they no longer use it as a flare stack because they have a methane recondenser. So right now that vent stack, flare stack, whatever you want to call it, the stack, is venting liquid oxygen out of it. And that is what Adrian is talking about. Sorry, just like to do a little bit of the old theater of the mind there. And so people, if they're listening and not watching or are just new and don't know what the vent stack is, that's the vent stack. Used to be the flare stack, now it's the vent stack. And it's from this camera's perspective, right in front of Suborbital Pad A.
Yep.
Whew. Man, I sure hope they do some more testing, but if not, that was very exciting. And like you said, with that vent stack active, Adrian, that's sort of the end of this tanking attempt. We'll see the frost line recede, and we will see them either safe the vehicle and open the road, or refill the vehicle for another round of testing, given the amount of time they have left in the window.
Did you just combine the word activated Adrian there? I think I just heard that.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm riding the adrenaline wave. I'm not responsible for my actions for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah, I think what we are seeing right now is, like, to be honest here, the most likely scenario going from here is a complete detank of the vehicle with an opening of the road and a saving of the vehicle. That's what's most likely happen here. We are right now at 3.5 hours before the closure of the window. Assuming they need another hour to detank this, we are already at 5:30. So they could barely maybe fit in one more test if they wanted to do one today, because then you would still need to like refuel, which takes another 1 to 1.5 hours. So we are then at like 7, and they need another hour to detank. So it barely works out. But
right.
We are at the close to the end of the window.
Right. And yeah, I mean, to your point, and a very fair point, the most likely thing to have happen is that this was the conclusion of today's testing, and they will continue to safely remove the propellants from the vehicle, and then at some point they will reopen the road and we'll see crews head to the pad. That's the most likely thing, but I can still wish and hope against hope that they do more testing, just because, hey, I like testing.
Yeah, but I'm not here for hope.
Is that a reference? Is that a reference I don't get?
No, I wish I had like cool quotes from the D&D show I always watch, but I always forget them. Like, do you know this feeling when you have like a quote 5 minutes later and you're like, that was the perfect time to say it?
I do know that feeling, and as the host of our streams a lot of the time, I take no regrets in just chiming in with my stupid quote like 5 minutes late, but I don't know, maybe people hate me for that.
I probably should do that, but again, I don't watch most of the shows. I just watch D&D, so yeah.
Well, what's the name of the D&D show you watch? I should really add that to my playlist.
Critical Role. It's amazing.
Critical Role. Nice.
Yes.
Wow, Ross Gervin in chat just asked, "Just arrived. Anything happen?"
Well,
who wants to take that? Quick recap.
Well, we saw the ship getting frosty. We expected some sort of spin prime and preburner test. Then we saw something that we expected to be a depressed vent. And, well, from there on out it went to a preburner test of a single sea level engine during the depressed vent. And we kinda were confused since then. Is that a good summary?
Yeah, it's a good summary. I mean, they had a closure today scheduled from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. They closed the road actually around noon. They cleared the pad after multiple PA announcements at the pad. Ask me how I know. And then they got, because I was there. And then they got into testing, and yeah, I don't know that we can call that a depress vent, at least in this case, Adrian. I think we might just need to genericize it a little bit and call it a LOX tank vent. Because,
yes,
I mean, I don't know, maybe it was depressing, maybe it wasn't. I'm not. It's just new behavior, and the LOX tank had an extended vent ahead of this single engine preburner that we are watching replays of now on the left-hand side. It's really beautiful. It's a really cool test.
Chris provided another summary in chat.
What did he say?
First the Earth cooled, and then the dinosaurs came, but they got too big and fat, so they all died and they turned into oil.
That's exactly how it happened. That is exactly how it happened.
Historically accurate.
Yes. Homer Simpson went back in time and sneezed on the dinosaurs, so they all died. Also, they were too big and fat, and then they all turned into oil. It wasn't like loam or whatever, or like organic matter and leaves and stuff. No, it's like literally liquid dinosaurs. Okay. Anyways, I'll stop.
Anyway, I was also gonna point out, because you know that video that I mentioned before of Ship 20 and everything?
Yep.
That one, I think Kevin was preparing that to show here in a second. But there we go. So you can see there, that is with the RVAX.
It's a much bigger cloud of fire.
I believe that is obviously a sped up, and now I think this one is normal speed. This was when we were doing like different... There we go. You can see how it looks like with all 3 RVAC engines on Ship 20. This was 2 years ago, October 2021. And, there we go.
Feels like a lifetime ago.
Yep.
Nice.
And so those flames are expected. It looks pretty much like the engine is spooling up. You see that jet of white coming out of the engine, and then it turns into fire. So that is 3 engines. We saw today 1 engine on Ship 26, and this was also Raptor 1. So Ship 20 had Raptor 1. We have on Ship 26 Raptor 2.
Good deal. Whew. That was neat. John Deppner gifting 5. It was hot. John Deppner gifting 5 more Red Team memberships. Thank you, John. Multi-Mutant Gamer, thank you so much for the membership milestone there. They say, how many years do you think it will be till Starship attempts to catch Super Heavy? And how do you think it will go? I'm going to say 2025. Well, Starship isn't catching Super Heavy, but I assume they meant the tower. Go.
Oh, yeah. That makes sense.
Were you going to be German and correct the wording?
Yes, but I also say late 2024.
Alex, I will mute you if you're not succinct.
I agree with Adrian, late 2024.
Great. Good job.
Wow. Can we mark this in our calendars? It's the day where Jack is the pessimistic one and Alex and I are like the optimistic ones.
Yeah, usually I'm like hopelessly, chaotically optimistic, but at the same time, internally at the same time, I'm like deeply, deeply, hopelessly pessimistic. But you know, that's how it goes.
Yeah, it's like usually our spectrum is like you are very optimistic, I'm somewhat in the middle, and then there's Alex being like, oh, it will be maybe 1 year because before the heat death of the universe, like somewhere in there.
I love it. All right, well, the vent stack is still going. It has slowed quite a bit, but we are watching Ship 26 get detanked right now. That is the removal of propellants from its tanks as SpaceX either gets ready for another round of fuel loading and testing or is wrapping up testing for the day. We'll just have to wait and see. Kirk Rains, thank you for the support. They say, will we ever be able to just text at NSF in order to ask a question? Go SpaceX. Probably not. Never say never. I don't know. Maybe the people that do the software stuff, like Nerd and all them will see this and have a bugbear and do that. But either way, you can always ask questions by typing at NASASpaceflight in chat. Duke Nukem, thank you for the support. They say it shouldn't be hated. It looks much like a moon lander, but it does look like it needs a large Coors logo. It needs like the color changing label. So there's the frost rises. There's like a big SpaceX, like blue SpaceX logo that appears or something. I don't know.
I miss the blue SpaceX logo.
Right? And no, we're hating it in good fun. We don't actually hate it. More data, more better. But boo, Ship 26. Boo. Vanishing.
To be fair,
go.
To give it, like, this is some serious cool and odd testing. Like, props to Ship 26 for providing that. That was cool.
Yeah, that was definitely neat. I missed pre-burner tests, come to find out. I really missed, and just really any test on the suborbital pad is fun. I'm glad that Massey's has not fully subsumed all of this, at least not yet. And that we still get these excellent views of tests on the suborbital pads. You know what also is excellent? We have a patch for IFT Flight 2. And the patch looks, like I just said, excellent. I mean, holy cow. Props to the store team and Pauline who designed this one. The embroidering on this patch is no joke. I mean, the quality of this patch is essentially no different than if you worked at a spaceflight company or if you were a member of the media and you get a patch for working on or covering a mission. This is an extremely excellent, high-quality patch. In fact, I'm holding one right now, and it's delightful. It's absolutely...
I have two, actually.
Right? It's absolutely delightful. And the cool thing is if you're not a patch person, it also comes in t-shirt form and a variety of other forms as well. I believe it comes as a mug and a hoodie and a sticker. It's a super cool design. Ooh, a water bottle. Those are good water bottles, by the way. I've been chugging Liquid IV out of one of those for the last, 6 weeks. This stream not sponsored by Liquid
Is it
IV.
Topo Chico?
No, I do have a Topo Chico right here, though, although I've been refraining drinking too much of it because I don't want to burp on stream and prove Michael right. Although, we all know...
Shout out, by the way, to the crew members who are constantly using as, guinea pigs for our store team, because we send you merch and be like, what do you think?
You know what I will say, and this is the perfect thing to click on, Kevin. The store team recently sent me this as a metal print, and it's a fairly large one, which is delightful. This is so inside baseball, but I mean, Ship 26 is destacking, so I'll share this anecdote with y'all.
25.
Thank you. No, 26 is detanking. This is 25 on the...
destacking.
Oh, you said destacking.
Go ahead.
Sorry, detanking. 26 is detanking, so I'm going to wax philosophic for a moment. You know, it can be a grind out here, and any job, it can be a grind. And I get that, because I live that, and we all work hard in what we do and what we love. And to sort of wake up in the morning and immediately see an image that you created or that you enjoy on the wall, it's... I really can't describe how delightful it is. If I wake up at 5 a.m. and I'm like, oh God, I should have gone to bed before 3 a.m. and I'm exhausted, but I have to run out and set up some robots or what have you, I look at this and I just think, holy cow. I mean, we're covering spaceships. It's a really nice thing to just sort of jar my brain back into a happy place. So thank you to the store team, not only for the cool patch designs and all the work that you guys do, but thanks for sending that my way, because it's motivating. It's motivating to see that. And I know y'all might not have the same feelings given that you didn't shoot that image, but hopefully some of the imagery we have on the store is delightful to you, and dare I say maybe even motivating. But yeah, check out the store, all kinds of cool stuff, patches, metal prints, yada yada. You get it. You get the deal.
Can I add quick thing?
Please.
I'm this Saturday I will be on Space Creator Day in Germany, and I have some patches with me. So if you
find
see me
Adrian,
there, find me, and I might just have some for you because I have some patches with me for that event.
Nice.
So
I don't have extra patches here with me, but what I do have is a whole bunch, a gigantic stack of NSF stickers. Don't tell Das I said this because I don't think this was the intended purpose, but I have requisitioned some of these stickers, and I carry them around with me in Starbase. So if you're in Starbase and you see me around, don't hesitate. Come on up and say hey. And if I remember to bring those stickers that day, I will give you some stickers because, hey, we love y'all. All right. Frost line still there. Vent stack still going. Replay. Look at that. Let's
That's
see it
so
again.
cool.
Let's see it again. Yes.
Let's do it again.
Fill it up again. That's old school, Adrian. You
should
haven't
do it
seen
again,
that, I
but
know,
live.
but
Let's do it live.
no. Oh God. I'll write it and we'll do. Okay. Still just really enjoying the fact that they did a daytime pre-burner test. Adrian,
That's so cool.
I'm gonna throw you for a loop here. The last pre-burner test was Ship 20 that we were talking about and looking at earlier, and that Alex has put a link in the chat to. What was the last daytime pre-burner? I know you don't have the answer at hand. I'll let you go digging if you so choose. But yeah,
now I want to know.
It feels like a long time. It feels like it's been a long time. Oh man.
The weird thing is, for example, I think even like Ship 20, Ship 15 didn't even perform a pre-burner test. Like they were already rare, so.
Yeah, I feel like they were more common earlier in the test program, and they've only got less common as time has gone on. So, really neat. I mean, we had some good views today, which is always a treat. So, yay for a daytime pre-burner test. Yay for fire coming out of Raptor engines. I mean, that's just the coolest thing. I don't care if the main combustion chamber was ignited or not. That was awesome. Really quick, Vanishing Image. Thanks for gifting a Red Team membership. David Black, thank you for the support. Starship 24, thank you. Starship 24 again, thank you. Vanishing Image again, thank you for the love and for booing Ship 26 with a little smiley face, so we know it's all in good fun. Space Pope, upgrading to Capcom. What's up, Space Pope? Pop into the Discord and say hey, and I will say, bah, Space Pope. David Black, thanks for becoming a new member. Brondo, it's got what plants crave. Thank you for the tip over at tips.nasaspaceflight.com. They say everyone needs to clap for Ship 26 so it gets its wings. Isn't that like ring a bell or something? You ring a bell when a ship gets its wings? I don't know. John Deppner again. Thank you, John. They say I gotta refresh my metric measurement skills because my Cybertruck RVAC metal print is huge. That is such a great image. That is a really phenomenal image. Props to Sean for shooting that one. If you haven't checked out the metal prints in the store, check out the metal prints. We've got some absolute bangers these days. In no small part thanks to Sean. Jim Cavett, thank you for the super chat, saying I'm starting to like Ship 26. I think we have a lot of converts in chat, with maybe even Chris B, who notoriously hates Ship 26.
Nope, he already voiced that he's not a convert.
Oh, dang it. Roland Hines, thank you for the support. They say Ship 26 sneezed. Bless you, Ship 26. Jared Thomas, thank you for the support. They say, I bet 5 kilograms of bacon that Ship 26 is going to the moon on a data gathering mission than Joy Starman in orbit of the sun. Jared, I will take you up on this bet. I don't know how. I don't know. Go to my website. Email me. Somehow prove you are who you are. I bet you 5 kilograms of bacon that Ship 26 is not going to launch. But maybe I should abstain from betting since reasons. Andrew, thank you for grabbing some stuff from the store. They say, I say again, we need bigger mugs. Didn't we get bigger mugs, Adrian?
We have bigger mugs. But I get it. I also like also like half-liter mugs. So we'll look at that. We'll look at that. Also, I think I found the last pre-burner test that was at daytime.
Yes, I knew you would.
But fact check me on this. But I found SN4.
No, really?
I didn't find any other pre-burner test after that was at daylight.
What? SN4?
Yeah.
That's insane.
I looked at the other vehicles and it seems like that's the case.
Wow.
It's hard to say, but it seems like that's the case.
Okay, so we could be wrong, but we're pretty sure the last daytime pre-burner was way back in the SN4 days. Just goes to show you how rare what we saw today is and how neat it is that we got to see what we got to see. And with the caveat that we could be wrong. JLP734 in chat is saying Ship 20 did a 6-engine pre-burner, but maybe they did not get the message about it being during the daytime is what we're looking for. A daytime pre-burner test.
Wait. Well, the second. So yeah, the second both pre-burner test apparently of Ship 20. Where? Let me see. No, they're right.
Aha!
Ship 20 did the second pre-burner test that was at daytime. So yes, it was Ship 20, but before that it was Ship 4.
Excellent. Okay, thank you for that.
So,
thank you,
there you go.
JP734 in chat. Excellent. Okay, either way, still a very rare occurrence, and still a super cool thing that we got to see. Maybe not SN4 rare, but hopefully we don't see anything ever again that is SN4 level of rare. Let's put it that way. You know, because it blew up. That's what I'm getting at. Do you get it?
It's a pre-burner fan club. Sorry.
John Deppner again. Thank you, John. They say just a quick thanks again for all you do. Yay, S26. Indeed, yay, S26. And yay, John Deppner. Thank you, John. Absolute bonkies amount of support. Music Duck. Aw, what a cute name. Music Duck, thanks for gifting 10 Red Team memberships. Anonymous, thanks for grabbing something from the store. What'd they grab? They got a patch. Good choice. They say
Good
yay
choice.
for Ship 26. And Angel Gabriel Valdez Sardoy. I'm probably butchering your name. I apologize. But thank you for the support. Alex, say this name. Go.
Angel Gabriel. Oh, boy. Angel Gabriel Valdez Sardoy.
Thank you. Also, say Mariner. I like the way you say Mariner. You're just a puppet now. Dance, puppet, dance.
No.
Say Mariner.
No.
Fine. I was going to mute you until you agreed to say it in chat, but I'm going to refrain. Let's continue.
Can be like, no, all the time.
Oh, man.
No.
So we're continuing to watch Ship 26 detank here. It's definitely, the frost line is definitely going down, and that tracks with all the other information that we're seeing. So now, God, Kevin, you're the best. Now what we'll do is we'll keep our eyes on that roadblock there in the little pip in the upper right. Oh, looks like some cars are moving. Some cars are moving right on cue.
Did Kevin just snipe it? No.
No, but it is an interesting thing to see that, you know, roadblock is still there. Maybe security just came up and talked to the sheriff or whatever and was like, yo, it's going to be this much longer. Or, hey, do you want any sandwiches? I'm going to Subway. Or, you know, whatever.
Isn't like the next Subway drive, like if they say we are going to Subway now, wouldn't they be like there again in an hour?
Probably like 2. It's probably like 40 minutes to the nearest Subway and then...
Ordering?
Yeah, I'd say probably like an hour and a half. The road to Starbase is like, you know, I live relatively close to where the soft block is. Hopefully I didn't just dox myself. And it's still like a 20-25 minute drive to the pad. So if you're all the way back up in Brownsville, that's not... Oh, are the roadblock cars driving away?
I don't know, but it's a long drive, but it never was boring to me when I was there. Because
No, especially because the buildings are so huge, you can see them from so far away. It's like you just see them looming off in the distance. Go ahead, sorry.
I think actually the coolest drive though was leaving Boca once, because the day they started like attempts, that leaving Boca was magical.
Right.
Because it felt so like adrenaline go time. That was just magic.
Yep. It's crazy. I feel like sometimes I struggle to like, I don't know, do mundane things like do my laundry. But then it could be a testing day, and the amount of adrenaline I feel, it's like I'm gonna do my laundry, I'm gonna clean all my cameras, I'm gonna wipe all my memory cards, I'm gonna shower, I'm gonna shave, I'm gonna, you know, do all that. I'm gonna wash my car.
Yes.
Although to be fair, I never do that. But it's crazy what a little bit of adrenaline will do. Hey, do you have these?
Sorry, I'm just quickly finishing this because I'm now using this for small talk. Do you have these small bursts of energy after streams? Because sometimes I've like after a long exciting stream, I'm like, okay, energy to clean up my whole apartment.
Yeah, I mean, let's go like full. Okay, hold that thought. Chat is like, what? Jack shaves? Yes, I shave my head. You know, I don't want to look like Mr. Burns, so I shave my head. There are other things to shave besides a beard, people. Oh God, what have I done? Okay,
Oh my god.
back to the
Not sponsored by Manscaped.
back to the thought at hand. Yes, Adrian, I do get quite a bit of a rush after a stream. Even it's crazy because some of those late night or early morning streams, it's like, you know, I should be sleeping, but I'm all revved up from just hyping up everybody and being hyped up myself. And yeah, definitely, that's definitely something I experience.
It's either completely full of energy or completely crashing. It's none in between.
Well, it's crazy because I mean, believe it or not, chat. Being on these streams is not trivial. It is mentally taxing trying to keep track of like YouTube chat, the panel, the questions, the super chats, what's going on in our back channel, what's going on the internet. You know, in case SpaceX tweets something, looking at the view, it can be mentally draining. And yet, after a big long stream or something, I will be so tired and so mentally exhausted where I'm like, don't even talk to me right now. I don't have a brain anymore. And at the same time, I'm like all revved up, like, ooh, I want to play KSP or what have you.
Yes.
Oh man.
Okay.
It's like.
Go ahead.
I love to chat about this because it's like a thing we never chat about enough. I feel like it's a cool topic to just discuss. But yeah, it's
Shaving?
It's not shaving. I don't want to discuss shaving on stream.
Stop. Yeah, no, I agree with you, Adrian. I think a little bit of inside baseball here and there is kind of fun and interesting. I mean, we're watching Ship 26 right now being detanked. It conducted what looked to be, by all accounts, a successful single-engine pre-burner test. Did SpaceX just tweet? I just saw a Twitter notification. No. So yeah, it's a good day today. We added some more data to the pile, which is always what you want, and that's a good thing. Here, Adrian, John is asking you to educate me on how to say his last name. Can you tell me how to say John's last name properly, please? Because he deserves that since he's contributed so much to the channel.
Depker.
Depker.
Depker. It's a O.
It's an umlaut. Depker.
Yeah, Depker.
Depker.
Yep, that's correct.
John Depker. Thank you so much, John. Hopefully,
it's a bit more. It's a bit more like even in the, a bit more in the
I don't. I'm trying. Okay, I'm only human. I'm not German. I'm only human.
There you go.
Anonymous, thank you so much for the support. They say, I know I should be saving money, but I couldn't resist. You guys are great. You're great, Anonymous. Thank you for grabbing some stuff from the store. What did they grab?
Oh, patches.
They got the patches. Nice. They got the first flight patch.
Like one, maybe
and
two.
Maybe the second one? Yeah, they got both patches. Adrian, is that Flight 1 patch gonna exist forever? We're gonna take it down before Flight 2?
Both patches are not gonna exist forever. We have a limited amount. We have like there's a we actually like sent them in design and they produce them. Like that's a whole process there, and then in the end there's a certain amount we ordered and that's warehoused, and once that's gone, that's I can tell you for sure that once the Flight 1 patches are gone right now, they will be gone. They're gone.
Good deal. Let's see here. Yeah, just continuing to watch Ship 26 detank here. 3 hours left in the window. We don't think they're going to do anything else, but they always might. So that's why we're sitting here watching this thing detank, and we're keeping an eye on the roadblock. Let's see. Yep. Adrian, say some smart stuff. Go.
No, it's right now we see the frost line continue to recede here, which means that the liquid oxygen in the basically right now what they do is they detank the ship, which is not trivial. It's something that maybe sometimes appears trivial, but you're still dealing with many tons of liquid that you need to pump, that also, while you're doing that, wants to rapidly boil, which is kind of a funny dynamic. And also you're in the situation after the weird conflict that you want to get the propellants out of the ship, but they also give the ship stability, because having something basically like a soda can, it's pressurized, So being pressurized gives this whole stability. So you're kind of removing the thing it gives. It has to give stability, and that's especially important if you have two tanks involved, because the upper tank cannot be very much fueled while the lower tank is not pressurized at all. So you need to kind of balance that out. It's a whole operation and science itself to detank a vehicle and save it properly. So that's what they are doing right now. And that's why it's taking so long, because you don't want to lose your vehicle doing detank. That's just not something that's probably gonna be nice. So there you go. That's my smart stuff, I should say. Alex, do you have any expectation how long we should expect this before they open the road?
Well, it could be a bit. Usually, detanking takes a little bit of time. Even with a smaller vehicle as just the ship, it still takes a little bit. Usually, 30 minutes to an hour, and so and even then, once it is detanked, it might still not be safe to approach. So the road is not open for even a few more minutes after that. So it could be probably maybe within an hour until, like, yeah, maybe less than an hour until we see that road open, if they're indeed done for the day. Which, frankly, with less than 3 hours left in the window, they're probably done for the day today.
And do we still expect that, like, one final depress vent where they basically leave all the rest out?
Yeah, they might actually do some more depress of the tanks as they save the vehicle, because it's not only just removing the liquid oxygen and liquid methane on the vehicle, it is also bringing the tanks down from whatever high pressures they are to a more manageable and safer pressure to be able to approach it. Because obviously, once they open the road, once they they come back here, they're gonna be next to the vehicle, so or even inside of the vehicle. If they actually go and do any sort of work on it. So obviously those tanks not only need to be detanked but also depressed, and so they have to remove both the liquid and the gas out of the tanks. So perhaps one final depressed vent is not out of the question.
Good deal. Good deal. Oh man. Let's see here. Luke H is asking, why are we still booing Ship 26? It's all in good fun. It's all in good fun. It did good today. It successfully tested a pre-burner on one of its engines. That's a good thing.
True. And again, you are confused, but it looked good.
Yeah, and we weren't confused because we didn't expect a pre-burner, and we kind of did. Or at least a spin prime. It was more about that vent that was occurring right before the pre-burner. It's something we haven't seen before, but always fun to add additional data points to the collection, even if they're a brand new data point.
Yeah, Alex and my job certainly is only starting here, because I can tell you there will be some replays being replayed and some spreadsheets being spreadsheeted in the next few days. That's what we do.
Let me know when you do that, because I want to be in voice chat when you do.
Yeah, we can certainly do that.
Hey, that's a sock. Don't do that.
It's okay. It's certainly funny because yeah, I'm aware. It's certainly funny when Alex and I tend to hang out in voice chat. It quickly turns into let's overanalyze stuff.
Yeah.
But I like overanalyzing stuff.
I mean, that's why we're here.
Right. Good deal. Neil, thank you for grabbing some from the store. They say, looking at the great patch from Attempt 1, thanks for the coverage. Let's see, what did they get? We're going to cover up the roadblock pip for a second here, but it'll go away. What did they get? They got a patch. Nice.
And
Good.
Also, the patch 1 was great and was our first patch, but we learned a lot from the feedback as well. And I think we stepped it up with patch 2. It's even better. Its quality has also significantly improved again. So,
yeah, and
NSF and figured it out.
NSF IFT2 patch block 2 full thrust is definitely an improvement over the first one. And the first one,
Oh.
0.1, and the first one was awesome, but the second one is even more awesome. So I'm excited to see what Pauline and the rest of the store team is able to pull off as we continue to do more patches going forward. But thank you to everybody for grabbing those from the store. Star is asking, are the patches iron-on? Adrian, what's the deal with the patches? Sew-on, iron-on?
Let me get the exact description, so I don't wanna reply anything wrong here because I hate when I
don't
but
see
they're
any iron here.
sewn.
They seem like they have that backing that would be iron-on. But again, let's see what the actual wording is. I want to be precise here for our viewers.
I will get the exact wording. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's continue watching this sweet replay of the pre-burner test.
I was gonna make a joke that this is not iron.
Wow, it's steel. Yeah, thank you. It's steel on. Wow. I'm proud of you and mad at you at the same time. I don't know which one I am of you more,
it's
but
still on because it's like, yeah, it's cloth and everything. Anyway.
good deal. We got the replay up on the left. We got live there on the right. You can see that single engine pre-burner from all the different angles. And if you were a member with access to the members multi-view, you could have seen them all at once when it happened.
So
Well,
they're not
once.
iron on. The patches are not iron on. They're for example, you can sew them on. I did that, for example, with my backpack. My backpack has 2 patches, the first and the second flight now on.
Got it.
That's sewed, but
it.
not iron on.
Okay, patches are not iron-on. They are sew-on patches. Good deal. As they should be. Admiral Marath, thank you for the question here. They say, any idea what they did to wreck Ship 27? I'm looking at you, Alex.
I am not sure. Just they got rid of it. Not sure what they mean.
Probably something to do with the common bulkhead looking all whack, but yeah.
But it was after the fact. I don't
Right.
think that was really before they got rid of it, because people were thinking the same about SN15. Oh, it must be damaged too, and it's like, nope, they're just getting rid of it. It's not really. No, there's no deep meaning. There's no any sort of deep planning into all of this. No, they just wanted to get rid of it. Same with Ship 27, SN15, but somehow not Ship 20 for some reason, or Booster 4. Like, what have they done? Like, really? No, they're useless. They no. I'm mad. SN15 had to leave. It actually flew. It landed. It was recovered. Come on, why?
Yeah, I'm
Yep.
still mad. I'm still mad that they scrapped SN15. But, you know, so it goes. Matrix is asking, are overpressure notices ever required at the Cape, or are all the public areas far enough away for that not to matter? I think if you work at the Cape, you get some sort of notice that there's going to be hazardous operations, but no, it's not the same. The whole overpressure notice thing is a unique thing to Boca Chica specifically, because there's still some residents like Mary. Shout out to Mary. Chat, can we get some Mary love in chat? Like, there's still some public people who live in Boca Chica, including Mary, who get those overpressure notices because they are in close proximity to the launch site. So that is a uniquely Starbase thing. There are similar other things for other places, just to let personnel who work in areas near other areas where testing might occur, that testing might occur on a certain day or time. But the whole, like, you know, notice to members of the public that they should be aware that there might be a blast shockwave is a pretty uniquely Starbase thing. And I see the Mary Love in chat. Heck yeah, chat. I mean, we wouldn't be anywhere close to here without her. Thank you to her for all the amazing imagery over the years. And every now and then she pops out and shoots some more, and we all love it. So thank you for the Mary Love. Well deserved. All right, well, I think with that, we'll probably wrap it up today, huh? I mean, we'll still have Starbase Live going. It's always going. It never stops. So you can keep watching at Starbase Live as they continue to detank and for the road to open back up. But yeah, I think for our commentated stream here, that will do it. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching today. Thank you for all the support. How fun was this? I hope you didn't mind the Chaos team coming out in full force, but this is a good one. This was a good one. Adrian, thanks for being on, buddy.
Thanks for having me. This was quite confusing, but in a good way.
Right? Alex, thank you for being on as well.
Yeah, I guess I was on. I was thrown into the wolves here because you got me. You always got me, man, with all of the questions. Oh, you gotta say in 2 words. Yeah.
It's fun. It's fun. I guess
You like my
It's fun.
enactment of how you
yeah,
you sound.
accurate. That's
Do you
very
know these
accurate.
kind of Oscar speeches where they slowly outro you with music?
Is that what's happening right now? Are we being outroed? Is there going to be like a cane from stage right that pulls us off? Okay. Thank you all of you again for watching. Kevin in the background, killing it with the switching. Thank you, Kevin. You're the best. And of course, thank you to the entire rest of the team. Thank you to all the mods. Thank you to Das and Andrew for helping me get that close-in view working this morning. Holy cow, was that a pain. Thank you to all of our members. Thanks for everyone for watching. I'm Jack Beyer, Content Manager for NSF. With that, let's all go hang out at Starbase Live. Ooh, full stack.
Look at that. Yay.
Yay. As long as it's not Ship 26, I would boo Ship 26 if I saw it right now. Because the stack, the flight vehicles, I mean, come on, that's top. But if it was not that, if it was not
When
this,
are they
though,
cutting off? Like once the moment when Kevin has enough.
I would probably
How long can we
boo. Like if he switched right now to Ship 26, I would probably boo in outro. Boo! All right, we'll see you guys later. Bye. Thanks for watching. Yay.
And here we go.
We have liftoff.
Propulsion continues to be normal.
RS-68 chamber pressure looks good.
Probably not.
Tango down to nominal.
Fighting downside FD off. Bring in FD off. It's orange! Oh my god! Oh my god! Decollage! What is it? Put that in the big bag, Eagle.
343 unfolds to go.
Indeed.
We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
If it was methane, it would be igniting in the flare, correct?